Hello, everyone. My name's Hank Suttala,
And I'm Casey McBride.
and here's another episode of Stir Crazy Shamans. Thank you for joining us, and I have some very interesting news. Yesterday, I broke Casey.
Yes, it was all Hank's fault. I am broken today. So thus the odd angle that I'm sitting at here today. Yeah, something happened to my foot, and I can't bear any weight on it. So I've got my foot elevated here, but my spirit's not broken. so we're gonna do some readings.
Yeah, I was just afraid that he might never want to go on a hike again because he might associate our first hiking experience. So yeah, but welcome everyone. And did you want to share this to whatever groups you normally do, or do I'm not sure.
I know for sure I'm going to share this real quick to my profile from Shaman's Way.
Oh, and I will start a watch party real quick. If you're just joining us, we're going to be doing Ayni readings today, and Casey will explain it a little bit here in a moment. Let us just do a quick tech thing or two.
Sharing to my page. Oh no, what am I doing? Share. Okay, how do I do this? Oh, there we go. Okay, sharing to myself, and then we can see. All right, well, at least it's shared there. So if you are watching from my profile, you will need to click into the whatever you call it into the page, Shaman's Way, in order to actually type the comments and for us to see them.
Yeah.
So Ayni Spirit Guide Readings. Before I was doing these live streams where I called them. Oops.
No, that was me. It was a good start of the watch party.
So I was calling them free spirit guide readings, and I didn't like the energy of that. There was, like Hank explained to me, there was a lot of hoocha being generated, and both just me giving and giving and giving without any kind of energetic reciprocation, and then also the other way around, people taking without any energetic reciprocation.
Well, and let's not forget the people that weren't getting readings. I jumped in a couple times because they were being so of a different vibration that there was facilitation needed.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, let me jump in, and we're going to do a little processing around that. So yeah, so basically the way. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, so the Ayni thing came out of. Well, again, maybe you can explain it a little better, but Ayni is the concept in Peruvian shamanism that roughly translates into divine reciprocity.
Right. Basically staying in the flow. If you give, that creates hoocha because you're not in the flow. You're just expending your energy and you have nothing coming in. And if you take, same thing. So as energy comes in, you're sending it out. And so divine reciprocity, a wonderful example, perhaps my favorite example, is us and trees. We give off carbon dioxide, which they need. They take that carbon dioxide, give us oxygen, which we need, and we are in the symbiotic relationship with them. We are in Ayni with them, and the same thing with anything. And it doesn't has to be same energy for same energy necessarily, but some sort of flow to keep the flow going, to put that energy back out into the universe somewhere.
So as people comment and say that they would like to participate in these Ayni Spirit Guide readings,
I got to change the verbiage on that banner.
Oh,
I almost spit my coffee out over
that. So just know that any way that you feel you would like to reciprocate, whether that is to oh wow, my brain's not working yet. Whether that's to book a full session with me if you enjoyed the reading that you had, or to leave a tip. I don't know if we put a link up there or anything.
We didn't.
Okay.
If you send, is that on your? Where? Do you know your link offhand?
I could get it. or okay, so either that, or I was going to say, or even if you just, if you've enjoyed the reading, then share the video, subscribe to Shaman's Way and Stir Crazy Shamans on YouTube, tell your friends, all that good stuff, in whatever way you feel called to reciprocate will be most welcome. And of course, we can't make you do anything. You're not required to.
We're not going to check up on you and make sure you did it or anything like that. Right. But then that's your hoocha to deal with.
Right, exactly.
So we do have Anne saying good morning, Anne. So the way this works, and I don't know if I'll I've not done readings online like Casey has before, but I may be offering contributions as well for whoever we're doing the reading for. But I work a little differently than Casey. But who knows? Maybe I'll have guides show up for you too, and we'll see what happens. Because I am a medium, so that's just one other spirit that you can talk to. So, but if you would like to participate in an Ayni reading, then just make a comment saying, hey, I would like one. And then we will bring up the comment. Casey will ask you a few questions to kind of shift the energy to allow for the facilitation of the reading. And then we get started. So I do see some people joining us on the feed that just joined us. So they have no context whatsoever about what we just talked about.
Yes, Ayni Spirit Guide Readings, or Spirit Guide Mediumship, as I've been calling it. So what I do is I communicate with your spirit guides, and I open the floor for you to ask questions. So normally during a full session, I would describe all of the various beings that are around you and then let you ask numerous questions of them. For this, I'm just going to describe the first guide that shows up, and then let you ask one question of that guide. And I am getting some major feedback I'm hearing on your end of my voice.
Really?
Yes.
I got nothing else going. Like the watch party's on my phone with the volume turned all the way down.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Pukli eye.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but it's very distracting. Is your headphone set turned up really loud? Maybe are you picking it up?
I can turn my, if I can figure out how to turn it down, I can. No. Oh, just no. My audio processing this isn't disabled. I don't know. That's bizarre. Well, I mean, I can mute myself.
Oh, but then I don't get to hear your beautiful voice.
Well, just unmuting it. Are you still getting it?
Let me say some words and see. Yes, I am. It's not super loud, but it's definitely there.
For people watching, and when we'll get started, are you hearing some feedback on like I see Anne was commenting, Simone was commenting about a reading. Are you guys hearing feedback, or is it just on Casey's side, just so we know how much tech support we need to do here?
And it's when I'm talking, and yeah, I'm definitely hearing my voice. It's like real muffled, and
I know what it is. It's the weird angle you're sitting at.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, how does that work?
And Simone, you'll be first on deck, because I know Anne did comment also after you. She had a reading last week. So the way that we do that is if you've already had a reading from Casey, we'll see if other people that haven't gotten a reading, give them first opportunity. But if we're not getting people commenting, then absolutely, it's not that you can't get another one, if I understand how you deal with that.
Yeah, well, typically I like to only do the mini sessions. Like if someone's already had a reading, I won't do it for someone twice. So the mini sessions, these Ayni ones, are just for people who have not had one before. Unless you, yeah. So I mean, you can always book a full session if you would like a reading. So that's always an option. You can get as many of those as you want. But these mini ones I try and save for people who have not had them before.
And I'm just being mindful. I'm muting myself when you're talking, so hopefully that's going to cut down on it. I just have to be mindful and push the button.
There you go. Okay, so Simone, I think we'll get started. She said, I would love to have a reading. So we'll get started with this one. Oh, and she just said again, and she shared with the heart. Okay, Simone, do I have your permission to energetically enter your space to do the reading?
Me too, just in case I get something. And also, let me take a moment to say, when I do readings, I always start with a prayer that we use at Fellowships of the Spirit. So I will go ahead and say that one time for all the readings today. As we open the door to communication and healing and the unity of the Holy Spirit, the great I am presence of the universe, we give thanks for we know that the word spoken and the experience received is full of your grace, wisdom, truth, love, and understanding of the highest. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, so we're waiting on Simone to say whether or not we have her permission to enter her space to do the reading.
Sure, she's just typing or just realized. Oh, and there is a delay from YouTube as well sometimes. Oh, she's on Facebook, so no explanation then. But Once you make the comment, we will do that. And then also start thinking ahead once he brings the guide through. What is your one question going to be? And the one thing that he does recommend a lot is ask a question filled with possibility. Like, is my neighbor going to move away? Like stuff like that isn't necessarily the question you could ask that will bring the greatest possibility in your life. So what can you ask that would create the greatest possibility for you instantly with total ease?
Yes, yes. Oh, and I hear Fiona out there complaining already. Fiona, you're going to have to wait for this one because I'm injured today. So I'm not making unnecessary trips all the way over there to that to that door.
Yep, only to 5 minutes later have to go let her back out again.
Right. Oh.
So Simone, if you can just comment that he has your permission, then he can get started.
She may have moved on to bigger and better things. We don't know.
Oh, no. Well, just in case that has happened, anybody else watching, all you need to do is comment that you would like and are open to receiving an Ayni reading. And then we will put you in the rotation to see, I don't know how many people we'll get through, but to bring through, Casey brings through a spirit guide. And then you get to ask one question. And then we'll see if I get some things from the spirit world as well. Chances are yes. But I haven't done public work in so long. Like inspirations don't traumatize me at Lilydale. It's just hundreds of people. But now I can't see you guys, so that's cool. You know?
And then it looks, I don't know how you say this, share says good morning. And then Colleen says, I would love a reading. So yeah, we will, if we don't hear from Simone here in the next like 30 seconds to a minute, I guess we will move on to, I don't know how you pronounce that. Share? What would you say, Hank? I don't know.
I would pronounce it Char.
Char.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to Char because she said she would love that and she was the next one to come.
And the only reason I know that is my aunt Charlene. We call her Aunt Char. So
okay.
I'm going out on a limb and thinking it's the same pronunciation.
So hang out, Char. We're going to wait another like 30 seconds. And then if not, Char, do we have your permission to energetically enter your space to do the reading?
And she said yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think we're going to move on. Simone has moved on. She is experiencing beauty and love and light in other parts of the universe right now. So,
or she'll be back because she has kids like me and has to go homeschool or mitigate them. So who knows? if she comes back, we'll honor it.
Okay. So Shar, again, these are Ayni readings for if you're just hopping on. So Ayni is that divine reciprocity. So we're asking, Simone just messaged and said, no. I don't know what that means. Oh, I am here. Okay. Simone, we're jumping all over the place here. Simone, do we have your permission to energetically enter your space to do the reading? Because you were the first one there, but we were waiting on you. You left us hanging. Oh. And then for anyone else tuning in, I think we will definitely get to Shar and Colleen. So both of you hang out and we will do your readings next. And again, these are Ayni readings. So we ask for whatever way you feel called to reciprocate, whether that's to book a full session or leave a tip or just subscribe to Shaman's Way and Stir Crazy Shamans on YouTube, share the video, tell your friends about us, whatever it might be. Some sort of reciprocation we would greatly appreciate.
Right. And the idea behind that is so you stay in the energetic flow, that you're not just receiving without putting the energy back out into the universe somewhere, which is the idea behind it, meaning divine reciprocity, to stay in the flow, not create heaviness, which we call hucha in this tradition. And she said, yes, please. And also just start to think of what question you want to ask your spirit guide.
Well, I don't like to tell people to do that.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, this is the first time we've had it together.
Yeah, because what if the guide shows up and you're like, well, I don't want to ask like giant Cyclops monster about my relationship. You don't know who's going to show up.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
all right, well, I'll let you do your thing, and I'll chime in later.
All right. So, Simone, energetically entering your space to do the reading.
Yes.
Okay, well, there's a good number of beings around you. Who wants to make themselves present for just this one question? It looks to be, and I don't know from exactly what time, but looks like a farmer from the south, like big, like kind of like straw hat and kind of like suspenders. But yeah, it looks to be like old southern United States farmer. So what question do you have? Oh, and she already said whatever comes to you. Okay, so we're gonna see what message this farmer has. So I was shown a vision, and the vision I was shown was the farmer was planting seeds in the field, working the field, planted the seeds, and then there was a storm, and then everything froze over, and so like he lost all the work that he did. He had to go replow, plant again, and things started to grow, and then again like there was another frost, and it killed all the crops, and then. Through all that work, he didn't give up, tried again, and then a single like carrot grew out of the ground, and he picked that and just was extremely grateful to have that one carrot, and went inside and ate it. And then the neighboring farmers came over and were just giving him all kinds of food from their farms to help sustain him and all this stuff. And there was just just a very joyful energy about all of it. So what I'm getting that might mean is that I don't know what it is, maybe some endeavor, something you're trying to do. I don't know if it's spiritually, job-wise, relationship-wise, whatever it might be. But that it may seem like you're putting in a lot of work just to be sort of, how to put it, not thwarted, but the universe has given you a rough time of it. And but to not give up, and to be really important is gratitude. And even though all this effort you're putting into whatever it might be may seem like it's just being wasted, if you remain in the space of gratitude, the universe hears that loud and clear. Being grateful for whatever you have, even if you put in way more than you thought you should have gotten back from whatever it might be, that having gratitude for whatever it is that you got out of it, you're sending the signal to the universe that I'm grateful for this, I want more of this. And the universe will definitely reciprocate, and the universe will provide for you in abundance. Relationship. Okay. Oh, Hank, you're muted.
I was trying to do the feedback thing, or not get the feedback. So anyway, just clarifying, I assume that that just resonates with her for that you're talking about, or the messages about relationship.
Yes, I would imagine.
Yeah, and the one thing that the way that I work, I don't deal with spirit people often, but I do bring up intuitions that may help create possibilities. I call it an intuitive facilitation. And so around this, I just have the a shift of energy of, when we say relationship, we are functioning from the duality, that we are separate from the other person and we're separate from everything, but in truth, we're an infinite being. So what would it take for you to shift your relationship into a creationship? And everything that doesn't allow that, destroy and uncreate it, to allow the new possibility around having a different type of interaction with not just romantic relationships, but with everybody that you come into contact with. What if you looked at it as though, what can I create with this person to make possibility in the world versus how can I relate in separation with this other individual? So that's the 2 cents that I have, that I feel will help create a space around that situation.
Thank you. And thank you, Simone, for being in the space of allowance to receive that guidance. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Cool. And are you still getting the feedback now, or is it better?
Yeah, I am. But I guess my brain was doing a good job of not being distracted by it entirely.
Well, I've been muting it. That was the first time I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you're talking, I'll have it muted. I just have to remember to unmute myself, so I'm not.
Well, if I see your mouth moving and no sounds, I'll remind you to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Well, you did, and then I'm like, oh man, how embarrassing! All these people see me talking, and I'm not saying anything. That's all right. A little Pukli from Spirit today. And so, who did you say was next?
Shar. Shar said she would love that. And yes, she already gave us permission to energetically enter her space. So Shar, just let us know you're still watching and that you're still good with us entering your space to do the reading, because it has been a few minutes. We want to make sure you're still with us. So again, Shar, if you're still with us, let us know, and we will do your reading next. And oh, that was quick. She says, yes, I'm here. Okay, so we're going to do your reading now. It's a penguin. You've got a penguin with you. Sure. What question do you have of this penguin?
I think that's the first penguin I've heard you bring through.
It may be. I think a penguin has come through in one before, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, I haven't caught all your live streams, so possible I missed it.
She says, LOL. Hey, this penguin may have some really deep wisdom to drop on you right now. So let's see. What is your question for this penguin that has showed up? Shar.
Oh, and penguins are amazing creatures. If you ever watch March of the Penguins, it really gives you a respect for the way that they live in the world. It's amazing.
And then she says, let the penguin flow. Or was that, are you just saying to, I don't know what that meant. Are you saying to just let us, whatever message comes through from the penguin, or do you have a specific question for this penguin?
That's how I took it, as like whatever the penguin has for her, but we can get confirmation.
Yeah, I just want to confirm.
Yeah, it seems she's on top of her comments, so we can find out pretty quick. Yep, there you go.
Yep, yes. Okay, so seeing what this penguin has to say. Okay, so another vision from the penguin. The penguin, I saw him and I don't know what you call it, herd, pack, group of other penguins walking a long distance, and then a snowstorm hitting and them all huddling together. And this penguin was at the outside of the sort of pack huddled together. So his back was like very cold and starting to freeze. but then they opened up and let him go into the middle, and I just saw and sort of felt the warmth and the exchange of like heat and him feeling very safe and comforted. But then once he felt recovered, there was like a moment of like hesitation where he didn't want to move. And then he realized that there were other people or other penguins at the edge of this circle that needed to come in. So he made his way back out to the outside. And then there was a period where things got really intense for the storm, and a few of the penguins kind of like dropped dead. And just as he was thinking he was sort of about to pass out, the sun started to shine and warm everything up, and then there was just sort of this almost like a celebration. So what I'm sort of getting from that is something there, whatever it is right now. Come on, Spirit, give me some English for this. First off, Cher, I just feel like I need to ask you, does that resonate at all first before I go in and try and explain? Because the words aren't wanting to come right now. Are you able to extrapolate the meaning of that for yourself? Before we move on. She says, yes, sir. She understands the meaning. Okay.
And I actually got a vision from this penguin too. I thought my first spirit guide vision, because I don't normally do that. No. So what well, for me, it just came through kind of, I didn't see a vision or anything. I just have the knowing of what it is. But like this penguin's like walking, doing its thing, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, there's like this banana peel on the ice, and it just slips on the ice. And the banana peel was something that's so far out of context for what it normally experiences, it couldn't see it. I mean, it was there, but it couldn't see it because it was outside of all of its known reality. And so the message in that is to just be open up to your awareness, because you're aware of a lot more than you give yourself credit for. And pretending you're not aware is like pretending the banana peel is not there that you're about to slip on. So to just take a moment and really just be in your awareness so you can make choices based on what you know versus what you're pretending not to know. And so that's what I got from the penguin. That was really cool.
Your first ever spirit guide vision reading.
I've had spirit guides come through before, but never like this came to me much like an access clearing. It was just like, here's a little pack of energy and then unpacking it. So but yeah, it was definitely from the penguin. So I'm like, cool, I'll take this.
Oh,
there you go.
And Shar says, thank you, Shar. Thank you. Yeah, I guess some of those, like, I think when I'm really blocked like that and can't get the English for it right away, I think that's spirit telling me like, that's for them. They've got it. I don't need to go into, because if I give an explanation that a lot of times spirit will come through and help me to explain, but if I'm just doing it, trying to like give my own interpretation, that might take away from the person's, real, like the message that they were supposed to get. Cause it did come through as a vision for them. And sometimes it might not make sense fully right away. But I had the one person I gave a reading for, this vision was like, how would that make sense in any context for anything for anyone? And they were like, I have no idea what that means. And I'm like, I got nothing for you. 2 days later, they were on my live stream. 2 days later, they came on while I was doing other readings. And they were like, I just had to come on and say that crazy reading that you gave me. I had no idea what it meant. But then like this morning, something happened and it just clicked and it was like amazing. And so yeah, sometimes, again, they're for us to interpret right away and we know, and other times it may be a message for later that things start to click. But Shar did say that that she understood the meaning, so thank you. So going back, let's see who was here.
And also just throwing out, I hope that this isn't true, that the penguin might be cute, but it's evil inside because it hates he can't fly like the other birds. I don't think so. They can swim and have all kinds of fun under the ocean. That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. They can fly underwater. Have you ever seen those things?
It's amazing. Yeah.
All right. Colleen says, I would love a reading. Colleen, are you still with us? And do we have your permission to energetically enter your space to do the reading if you are?
Yeah, and just touching base for those of you just joining us, the Ayni readings, what it means is divine reciprocity. So however you feel to reciprocate, whether that's to share the video, to leave a tip, to book a full session with either Casey or me, whatever you feel called to pay it forward in the world somehow to keep the energy flowing.
I was just gonna. Okay, well, I can't write. Oh, my keyboard is not working. There we go.
And Colleen is still with us, and she says, "Yes, I am, and you have my permission." Thank you, Colleen. And we will, well, after this one, we'll see how much more time we have, and then we'll put people who's still with us. We'll put them in order and see what they. Uh-oh, let's see. Okay.
So Colleen says, "Yes, I am, and you have my permission." All right. So we have it right here. So entering your space, and she says, "Are you booking in-person sessions soon?" For readings, I don't have a place as of the moment that I'm doing in-person readings.
We could arrange that. You know, someone that has a center.
Right. We can arrange that, but I also I do full sessions over phone or video call. Did you put the link to Shaman's Way in the description today?
I don't remember, honestly.
Oh man!
Normally, I'm so good about that too. And
you are all over the place today, aren't you?
well, I did this a while ago. Let me click edit. No, I just did the YouTube link to the YouTube thing. I will get the link and I will edit and update that real quick. But yeah, it would be Shaman's Way for Casey or hanksuttler.com for me if you were looking to book appointments. And I do see people out of my office, but I'm only doing mornings and Fridays because I'm homeschooling the boys. So I have to be here most of the time. Well, I choose to be. I don't have to be here most of the time, but I choose to maintain an Ayni relationship with my family at the moment.
Colleen says, "Yes, and we have our permission." So thank you for your patience, Colleen. All right. So entering your space to do the reading now. And then I think we might do like one or two more after this. We'll see what Spirit has to say. I don't know how to describe this, Spirit. Well, I do, but it might not sound very. Okay. So anyway, they're like it was like a rabbit person with a hat and like was walking around on two legs, but was like a cross between like a rabbit and a human, kind of. So, Colleen, what question do you have for this rabbit person that showed up? So we're just waiting on. Where are we, Colleen? With what question do you have for this rabbit man? Anything it wants to share, I guess. Okay, you guess. Well, I'm going to go ahead and ask it. I'm going to remove the I guess part, though, because that's what we're asking. All right. Okay. I get all kinds of different messages from spirit. So maybe Hank afterwards can say a little bit to this. But anyway, I'm just going to give
No
the
pressure.
message. I'm just going to give the message as it came through from spirit. This rabbit being said, "Be warned. Um, this storm that is either coming or is here um, uh, will destroy you if you don't take shelter. So take shelter from this storm. And then when the sun comes out again, proceed with love, or else you will fall and be broken as well." That was the message that came through. So, Hank, what do you...
Well, you know, that might explain my message that I was getting, because I had this vision of this wolf coming and like ripping the rabbit's head off. So maybe I was, because I was going to let the message. Oh, well.
Okay, so very similar kind of warning themes there.
Well, I thought I was taking it a different way, but because I'm not one on to advocate. Well, you function from wherever you're at, and from the oneality standpoint, we're all one. There's nothing you need protection from, because we're all one, and there's nothing that, you know, your continuation of existence is guaranteed, whether in this form or another. But that being said, in the duality, there are very much times where we need to take protection, and I give the example of, you know, if you're in a burning building, you to get the blanket, you get it wet, you put it on, you get yourself out. You don't continuously wear the blanket, but when needed, you can certainly advocate for yourself, protect yourself. But when the storm is done, then you're done. So if you're maybe the message is more, if you're someone that is of the mindset, like from the oneality standpoint, it's all divinity. I don't need protection. Well, we're also in a duality. The greatest truths are paradoxes. So to take the moment to advocate for yourself, and if the storm comes, take shelter is, I guess, the way I would put that into a bit more context. Oh, poor bunny! This bunny is just getting beat up today.
Yeah. Oh man.
So hopefully, does that resonate with you? Or
Oh yeah, that was an interesting one.
yeah, I'm not one normally to do doom and gloom readings, but the message itself is just take care of yourself for the space and time that you've chosen to be here.
Okay, so anyway, Colleen, thank you for being in the space of receiving this message. Yeah, any last things you want to say to that before we move on to the next one, Hank?
No, it gives me a sinking feeling. So let's work with that for a moment. So okay. So all that just brought up for you, be willing to destroy and uncreate it. And I'm just going to run a clearing for it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What energy, space, consciousness, and choice could our body, beings, and beyond be to receive that information and make aware choices for our greatest possibility with total ease? And everything that doesn't allow that to occur, we destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And just ask the earth, what frequency does my body need to have this sinking feeling, this hoocha that just came up from this message that we just gave, to allow that energy to come into the left foot, swirl through the totality of your body, being, and beyond, through all aspects of existence, both known and unknown, all dimensions, lifetimes, parallel universes, every place where you exist, and effortlessly take that heaviness and go out the right foot. And just allow to be yourself, to be in the flow of this empath dialysis, to allow that heavy energy to flow back to the earth where it can be a contribution somewhere else. Because definitely not intending anybody to walk away with one of these with a feeling of heaviness at all. That is not the target. And I was looking at my wolf actually like not liking the rabbit. That was the energy I got from it. It wasn't like contributing to the rabbit's demise. It's like, no, let's just get this rabbit out of here. Colleen, does that help a little bit with the energy that we are processing here? And I'm going to also run the Summon Jikui for you, which is translation Father's Rain. It's a purple effervescent rain that cascades through the whole body, being, and beyond, through the energy field, taking all the heaviness and offering it into the earth. And also know that the message that came through is not necessarily one that would be relevant to your own experience, but perhaps it is something that you are going to be telling someone that is like that. Maybe that isn't you, and it's a friend that you're worried about because they never take precautions. Ooh, what if that's the case? And I just felt the energy shift with that too. So that might be also just you don't want to be the doom and gloom person, but perhaps it might be worthwhile, since it feels like you might be someone that people like listening or telling their stuff to, because you're a good listener and you give good advice to help give context for them to need to take a little bit more. I don't like the word precaution either, to function in more awareness than they are used to functioning.
Yeah, Colleen, again, so I'm glad that the energy has shifted for you. Yes, and know that spirit knows way better than we do, and I've learned throughout the years of doing this, that my job is to just step out of the way, and I just have to give the message. And a lot of the times it's what the person needed to hear, and sometimes it could have been the reason that message came through was just to bring up that energy for you to address right now so that you could release it.
Absolutely. It could have just been a tricky healing.
Yeah, and a lot of times it might be. So, yeah, but I thank you for being in the space for allowing yourself to release that as well. So thank you. All right, so let's see. We have other people who are on and interested. Let me go back and see. We haven't done anyone from YouTube yet. And Kimmy says, "Good morning, Hank and Casey. I would love a reading this morning if possible." So it's YouTube's turn. Kimmy, are you still with us? And if you are, do we have your permission to energetically enter your space to do the reading?
And while we're doing that, Silko just want to make herself known. This is one of my little spirit. I'm kind of into crystal skulls, and this was one of my more recent things. Her name's Silka, and she's like definitely a healer energy. And even before you had gotten the message, I had grabbed her from the back, knowing that she was going to be facilitating something. So
I love it.
Yeah. So thank you, Silka, for your contribution. Yes. And I gotta say, they're much easier to take care of than cats. I'm just saying.
Especially this one. Well, she's been okay now. She hasn't said anything in a little while. But this morning. So for all of you who are just tuning in, the reason I'm at this weird angle is I have a really bad foot injury. So it was this morning I got up, and it was a struggle just to get 10 feet over to the restroom. And so I get back in, and Fiona's sitting out there looking at me, and I'm like, if you want to come in this room, you have to come in right now, because I'm not getting up out of this bed unless I absolutely have to. And so I knew she was going to want to. So anyway, I shut the door, and of course, 10 seconds later, she's meow, meow at the back of the door, and I'm just yelling at her, like, Fiona, listen, I am in pain. Any other time, this would be fine. I could let you in, but please, just give me a break. So anyway, Kimmy says, "I'm here and you have my permission."
Now, the real ironic thing, everyone, is yesterday when we went on our shaman walk, my friend, Dr. K, who does the show with me on Fridays for Holistic Highlights, she's a podiatrist, and she wanted to go with us. And if only we had brought her, like we could have been having, the best first aid possible for you when it started to happen. But thank you, Kimmy. We'll tune in here.
Yes, and this I think this is probably going to be the last one for today. So whoever we didn't get to, subscribe to Shaman's Way on YouTube. Hank, if you could just one more time post that link in the description. Shaman's Way on YouTube is where I normally do all of these readings. We're doing it to Stir Crazy Shamans today. It's kind of like a special event thing we're doing here. But I had been doing them every day. Took a few days off, but I'll probably be doing them regularly, if not every day, at least a few times a week on Shaman's Way YouTube channel. So subscribe, turn on the notifications there so that you get notified next time I go live to do these readings. And also, Kimmy, since you're the last one I'm doing this reading for, just know that these are Ayni Spirit Guide Readings. So we're asking whatever way you feel called to reciprocate, whether that's to book a full session if you enjoyed this reading, or to leave a tip, or just to subscribe to the YouTube channels, or share the video, or tell your friends and family about this, or whatever it might be, whatever way you feel called to reciprocate. That way, the energy is much lighter, and there's a better flow of energy there. It's a sort of Ayni is that divine reciprocity. So, thank you. And then I'm going to begin now. Okay, so we got an angel here. Angel with a lot of gold energy throughout their clothing and their energy fields. So what question do you have for this angel that has showed up, Kimmy? So what do we have today, Hank? We had a penguin, a rabbit person, an angel. What else was there?
Oh, Kimmy, he's asking you. You can ask a question. Any question that you like. I would ask. If you asked a question, what question could I ask to this angel that would create the greatest possibility? Ask that. If there's a question, but she's asking absolutely my mom, or you're asking a question about, like, if you could give us the full question that you would like to ask.
And I think that's just we're getting a little bit of a delay on the YouTube comments.
Oh,
the absolutely, I think, was just her saying she agrees to the Ayni.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I forgot about, and I was the one who discovered the huge leg, and I forgot about it. I did just post the link for Shaman's Way. If you click that link, you can go over and subscribe to his channel. And we just hit 91, Casey, on our channel on Still Crazy Shamans. We are only 9 away from getting our custom URL.
Ooh, and 9's a very magical number, too.
Yeah, 9 is numerology for completion. So, yeah. Oh, the baby was crying. Yes.
Oh, no.
Ooh, that reminds me. I think we still have some work to do with that. And the center's now open again if you want to touch base with me after to take care of that. I think we talked about a while ago.
So she said, I'm looking for help with how to help my sister. Could you, because I always like to actually have a question, could you phrase that in a question that you want to ask? It's a concise question for this angel. Kimmy. Yeah, just wait. And again, everyone who I didn't get to today. So again, she's having a baby this month, could really use some maternal guidance. So again, a question. What is the question you would like to ask? For everyone who didn't catch this, Hank just posted the link to Shaman's Way. Subscribe there, and then hopefully you can get in on my next Ayni Spirit Guide reading.
Yeah. And if you like to work, if I'm, I know you kind of do those randomly, but if I'm available and you like the interplay, I can be on too for some of them.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fun.
It is.
Poor rabbit. I'm going to be thinking about this rabbit all day. Reminds me of my rototiller incident from a couple years ago.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Hoochie
Yatsi booey, yaksi booey. All right. Yeah, there is definitely a delay from the YouTube comments.
Well, I suppose I could go to the YouTube thing and see what might be written there already.
I'm sure as soon as you pull that up, it's going to come through, but why not?
No, nothing.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kimmy?
It is there, actually. It says, how can I help my sister step into motherhood with a loving and caring spirit?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. Okay, so let's see what this angel has to say.
Oh, and now it shows up.
Okay, see? Okay, let me see. So this one came through less of a vision and more an energy that I'm able to easily translate into English. So the angel said that most important thing for you to do is to hold a loving, peaceful vibration yourself. And she said that words are not going to be your ally this time around doing this. For you may have the best intentions with the things you're saying to your sister, but if she's not in a pleasant emotional state, although you may have the best intention with your words, the words are going to be taken all in the wrong kind of context, and it's going to have the opposite effect that you're intending. So instead, way more important than any words you're going to say right now is for you to hold a loving, peaceful space yourself. And just by holding that energy in that space, you'll give the opportunity for her to sort of naturally begin to resonate there. And it's in the moments of silence, in between the chaotic emotions and all of that, in those moments where there is a silence, if you are in that space of holding that loving, peaceful vibration for her, when she has those moments of silence, naturally she'll start to kind of acclimate and be gravitated toward that peaceful, loving vibration herself. So just to hold that space for her is the best thing you can do right now.
And that goes along with the message that I got. So I have a gentleman in spirit. I feels like a grandfather on mother's side, and it's not a big guy, not a small guy, but just someone with really broad shoulders, if you might be able to take that. And he's sitting there singing this the song from Frank Sinatra, "I'll do it my way." Like, so just meaning that the energy that I get is someone very set in their ways. And I feel that he was very much like this, and she might take after grandpa a little bit. But he says not to worry. He's going to kind of manipulate or try to work and sneak some inspirations in to shift things in the dream world. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Does that resonate with you? I don't do mediumship that often, but this guy is very you know, he has the opportunity to say something, so he's not going to miss it, is kind of like the energy behind this gentleman. A very loving energy, though. He was just very much getting stuff done, very driven, and very set in his ways too.
So before we even get that final message from Kimmy, I do just want to say to all of the guides, all of the beautiful spiritual beings that we encountered today, I thank you all so much for using both of us as the hollow bones, the vessels through which your energy has flowed today. And thank you for your words, your energy, your visions, your wisdom, your healing. And I thank all of you who are present today for allowing yourselves to be in the space of receiving this healing, these messages.
Yep. And we can't see the message yet, but she said it was Grandpa Teddy.
Oh,
so very cool. Yeah. So it's not that I can't do it. I focus on other things. Unless if the greatest healing is going to come from spirit, then absolutely that comes through. Because that's the question I ask: is what would create the greatest contribution for this person, and see what happens. Sometimes it's an angel. Sometimes it's Grandpa Teddy singing "My Way," and or sometimes it's just information that can really make a change and difference.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. So yes, thank you all. For anyone, my keyboard's not working all that well. Can you just write up shamanswayhealing.com?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, shamanswayhealing.com is there.
Okay, there
Casey's site. And I did make a comment. I put that comment everywhere. The only place you might not see that, actually, we're not streaming to my profile. So yeah. My father-in-law is now on Facebook, and though I'm very much out there, like readings might be the thing. Like, well, if he's going to find that stuff, he can work at it to see how crazy I am. So, you're very welcome, Shar. You're very welcome, everyone.
Yes, and I was going to say that website, shamanswayhealing.com, is my website if you would like to book a spirit guide mediumship session with me. So.
Yep. And my site is my name, hanksutala.com. And you'll see it on there. It's intuitive facilitation, which could be mediumship. It could be anything. It's going to be what's ever going to create the greatest possibility for you. Sometimes it's access clearing. Sometimes I really don't put a limit on it. And she said, all this hits right on 100%. I really didn't know that right way to help her, but now I do. Thank you. You're very welcome.
Oh, thank you, Kimmy.
How does it get any better than that?
Yes, I love it.
Oh, and even when you're giving the reading, I'm like, I wish I could tell people what I'm getting, because this is all like right in line with what I was getting.
Yes. Oh, that was wonderful. So yeah, thank you all. This was amazing. Thank you all so
Hey,
much.
Casey, this is great. Thank you for sharing your thing with me. I think this was awesome.
Oh yeah, anytime we can do these on Stir Crazy Shamans from time to time. But then anytime you want to come on mine, you're more than welcome to come on Shaman's Way.
Awesome.
Well.
Yeah, but I'll let you run the board so I put up the comments you want. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Thanks. Thank you.